Have you ever felt like you don't quite belong? Humans naturally notice when they feel out of sync with others, and it can be subtle. A conversation that flows around you, a joke that you don't get, or just the sense that everyone else already seems to know the rules. Fitting in isn't as simple as changing how you look or act, and wondering why you don't can make you start questioning yourself. And not because there's something inherently wrong with you, but because it's uncomfortable to feel like an observer in your own life. I'd like to talk about that today. Not belonging usually isn't obvious. It's not being excluded outright. It's not being told that you don't fit. But it's more the realization that conversation seems to move around you. It's noticing that you're adjusting how you talk, what you say, or when you speak without anyone really asking you to. You're allowed to be there, yet at the same time, you don't feel welcome at all. And over time, that unsettled feeling can start changing how you act. You become more careful, you wait longer before speaking, maybe afterwards you replay interactions in your head, trying to see where things might have gone wrong. And eventually, the question of, do I belong here, turns more into, what am I doing wrong? And I think that's a very important distinction, because once the problem feels personal, people tend to overcorrect. For a long time, as an example, I assumed that fitting in was mostly about effort. You say the right thing, you match the energy, learn the rhythm of the group. And that works, albeit for a while, because I noticed a pattern after some time, that the more that I adjusted myself, the less natural I felt, and the more tired I became, and the more time I spent wondering, what am I doing wrong? And that only changed the moment I realized that I was spending so much time trying to fit in, instead of being more comfortable with being me. Groups aren't neutral. They reward certain traits, speed, humor, confidence, shared references, whatever really. And while they don't punish other traits directly, they also don't reinforce them. So if your way of talking or thinking doesn't get feedback, it can feel invisible. And invisibility makes it easy to mistake for failure, like you're being ignored. And not because you're doing something wrong, it's just your energy might not be the group's. And it's okay to feel that way and to be that way. What helped for me wasn't trying to belong harder. It was realizing two things. First and foremost, my position in the group, and whether or not the group was one I wanted to be a part of. With position, I mean whether or not you're someone who is more extroverted or more introverted. I naturally like to take a more listening role when many people are present. I enjoy company over talking myself. And this ties directly into the second thing. If the group wants you there, then this kind of behavior is okay. It gets recognized and accepted that you are the way you are. Another thing I've learned is that trying to fix yourself is often the slowest option, and also just the completely wrong approach. Reducing time in places where you constantly feel out of sync helped me way more than improving my social skills ever did. Not avoidance, just fewer environments that require that constant adjustment. Different rooms, same person. Not belonging doesn't automatically mean something is wrong with you, and it definitely doesn't mean you're secretly meant for something better either. Sometimes it just means that the setup doesn't match how you operate. And I think that's something worth noticing. And that contrast will tell you more than any kind of self-criticism ever will. Thanks for watching.